What is up, everybody? It is your boy Joey Work, and I'm back. Gonna run through my best bets and picks for tomorrow's entire MLB card, giving out leans, best bets for all games on Thursday, September 2nd slate. Yesterday's YouTube bet was a loser, unfortunately. Boston first five and actually ended up winning the game. But as I always say, slow and steady wins the race. I'll be back, one unit at a time. So that the loss drops my YouTube best bets record now 53, 36, and 4. But the grind continues. Shout out the guys in the chat already in the house. Eastside Rolla, Lance LaRoche, Jefferson C. Appreciate you all in the house already. Thanks for hanging out. I tried to start this as late as possible, try to get as many lines out as possible, but I'm not seeing many lines. So worst comes to worst, we'll just talk through the slate. I'll give you my leans, whatnot. Once the lines come out tomorrow, you could, message me or ask any questions in the chat, need be. But that's what we're gonna do here. So first game, viral video in the house as well. Appreciate you. First game we got is Philly Washington. It was postponed from today. Now it is Aaron Nola versus Paolo Espino. I know the wind's blowing out in that game today. Was supposed to at least, but weather's definitely an issue. I'm in Jersey now, and the weather has been very, very ugly today. There was a state of emergency, blah blah blah. There's tornado, quote unquote. Lots of rain, a lot of flooding. I know Yankee Stadium is flooded. They do not play tomorrow, but I'm interested to see what Washington's weather looks like tomorrow. With that said, if they have, say we throw out the weather conditions and it's a beautiful day, great game, beautiful. We don't have to worry about weather. I am somewhat interested in the over. I know it was at I think it was 7.5 today, the under over in this game. Aaron Nola versus Paolo Espino. I know Nola has not been great as of late, and obviously he's playing a division foe here in the Washington Nationals, who have seen a good amount of him, and they have a decent amount of success. Again, Washington's lineup right now, not crazy scary, but they have to continue to put up runs. And they are playing in Nationals Park, which is definitely a hitter-friendly park. Um, and Nola, since they started limiting the sticky stuff, as I mentioned, he's been hit or miss somewhat, I guess. He has pitched good a couple starts, but then's also, giving up runs other starts. Even I don't know. I mean, last start out versus Arizona, 5 innings, 2 earned. The start before that, he pitched good in San Diego. Joe Girardi tried to stretch him as long as he could. He eventually gave up a game-tying home run in the ninth. So he actually gave up no earned runs until the last out in the bottom of the ninth. He gave up a 2-run bomb. But before that, he gave up 4 at home versus Cincinnati, 5 in Washington versus the same Washington, 5 innings, 5 earned runs versus the same Washington team as the last time facing them. And that was his only time starting against them this year. And then on the opposite side, we got Paulo Espino. This guy's not very good either. Let's not say not very good either, because Aaron Nola is pretty damn good. Just I think the sticky stuff has really limited him, and his advanced numbers show that regression is coming. And Espino has, pitched pretty good his last 2 starts, but he pitched against the Mets in Milwaukee, both on the road. Obviously, the Mets are a pitcher-friendly park, and the Mets bats have gone missing for a while now. But he's not really a big strikeout guy. He gives up. The problem is he normally gives up a lot of homers. He played versus Atlanta. He doesn't really eat innings. 5 innings at the most, 4 innings, 4 or 5 innings, then handed over to his Washington bullpen, which according to my numbers is the 3rd worst in MLB. So I definitely like runs here. I'm not seeing a line yet, but the lean would be over if you got an 8.5, 7.5. Let me just try to pull this up real fast. Yeah, it's still no line here, but lean would be over. Love 7.5, even 8.5. I'm fine with over there. Next game we got is Oakland, Detroit. Frankie Montas versus Matt Manning. Montas is off a phenomenal start against the Yankees at home. His last start out, 7 innings, 2 hit balls, 6 strikeouts, and that was it. Only a walk, no earned runs. And then even the start before that against San Francisco, again at home. So, you got to take that with a little grain of salt. 7 innings, 2 earned, 9 strikeouts versus San Fran. Then he goes to the road. He's pitched pretty damn good. He hasn't allowed more than 3 runs since June 21st. He's quality start machine, as you could say. He eats innings, 6, 7 innings at a time. And then on the other side, we get Detroit and Matt Manning. Obviously, both teams, bullpens somewhat gassed after today. I think the score was 8-7 last I saw. Detroit was winning. And I know both bullpens were in there early. So, both bullpens somewhat gassed. You got to take that into consideration a little bit. Matt Manning is not a guy that impresses me. He has his 5.46 ERA, and even his advanced stuff, he hard hit balls all over the field. And he doesn't really strike many people out, if any. He hasn't faced this athletics team, so that should be a little bit of an advantage. But I'm really not afraid of Matt Manning. The guy gives up homers, decent amount of homers as well. He normally is good with the walks, but he definitely had trouble this year locating his fastball and putting some people on. But he'll probably pitch 5, 6 innings, depending on how he does. I expect like about 5 innings, 3 earned, 6 innings, 3 earned from him, and I think that'll be enough for Oakland to cover the first 5. So a lean here, definitely Oakland first 5. Let me see. I could probably pull this up real fast, the number on this one. But if you have any questions, make sure to send them in the chat. I'll be sure to answer them. Brave series, baby. Same. I'm in Jersey. The rain's hitting us hard. Yes, it is. Any live looks in the Giants Brewers? Not really, man. I was watching the game, but it's basically a toss up from now. 2-2. I think it's the bottom of the 6th. So yeah, this site doesn't even have lines in that game yet. Yeah, I'm not seeing many lines. This is there's only 8 games tomorrow, and I'm only seeing lines for 3 of them. So this is, it's going to be a little harder than normal, but I'll talk through each game, give you what I look, and then you guys do, the extra work from there. Or, obviously if you're a Rump Your Bets subscriber, I will post official plays on the spreadsheet. I'll contact you. I'll let you guys know when I make a play official. So you guys will know when I make a move. But for all those just watching the video, ask your questions now. Comment in the comment section. I'll answer them in the comment section. Otherwise, see, I'm not seeing a first 5 line for this. But and in this game, again, lean Oakland first 5. So next we got is Milwaukee San Fran. As Viral just mentioned, this game they play again tomorrow. Joseph Estrada, I thought Joey was born with a hat on. I got a haircut, so I might as well, not mess up my my barber said, like, going a little bit bald here because I wear a hat all the time. So when I got a cut, I might as well not wear a hat. But what's up, Chris? What's up, Jason Cornell? Appreciate you guys. So Milwaukee San Fran, Logan Webb versus Eric Lauer. Logan Webb, well, man, this guy this year has been a phenomenal 8-3, 2.65 ERA, and his advanced stuff really good, striking out a lot of people, more than the batter per inning this year. And I mean, he has allowed more than 2 runs. I can't even remember the last time he allowed 3 runs. Back on May 5th was the last time this guy allowed 3 runs. Holy hell. And he's gone, 5, 6, 7 innings almost every time. His last 8 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings and allowed less than 2 runs in every single one of those starts. And the least he's had is 6 strikeouts in each of them. No matter at home, on the road, it doesn't matter. He pitched against his Milwaukee team August 6th, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, a solo bomb, 9 strikeouts. Man, this guy is on one, as DJ Khaled would say. He's striking out. So he does have, a little BVP versus team, but not much really to take in consideration. Eric Lauer, on the other hand, the Giants have seen a decent amount of him, almost 80 at-bats, batting .321 to X-weighted on base percentage. He's not really a strikeout pitcher because he doesn't have really an overpowering fastball. He tries to get you to swing outside the zone. And the Giants have, I know they have stumbled. They lost the last 2. So this is a big game definitely tonight and tomorrow. Definitely big games because they're trying to still win that NL West division, hold off the Dodgers and win the division. But Lauer has, somewhat stumbled as of late. His walks, he walks 5 people his last two 2 starts. He hasn't been able to get into the 5th inning, or well, he hasn't been able to get into the 6th. He hasn't pitched 5 complete and been able to get a win in those starts either. He allowed 6 hits, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 runs in those starts. And then even going back before that, he hasn't really had a good start in his last 6 starts. I guess I'll say, he pitched, I guess, decent against Pittsburgh, but only won 5 innings. Past that, he hasn't even pitched to 5 complete innings in his last 6 starts. So somewhat scary here. And sooner or later, this San Francisco lineup, the bats are going to show up. Lauer hasn't pitched versus them this year, so this could be their spot. Lauer is a lefty, and we know what the Giants do versus lefties. They're pretty damn good versus lefties, man. Top 10 on base percentage, top 10 in runs versus lefties, slugging percentage versus lefties. And Lauer's not a lefty that scares me. So definitely hard lean towards the Giants here. I'm sure this line won't be crazy either. Wow, I'm seeing Giants minus 175. So it is a little more inflated than I'd like. Maybe you'll lay the run the first 5. See what we can get that down to first 5. Most of these games tomorrow are early as well. The first 3 games, these 3 games that I just mentioned are all early games. First 5 minus 120. There you go. That's more like it. So San Francisco Giants first 5, lay the half run. Definitely very interested in that play. I think maybe if you want to go with Giants team total, depending on the weather as well. I know the wind is blowing out today, but it doesn't really look like it because Wilmer Flores had a ball that probably would have normally been out if the wind was blowing out heavy, and it just hung up there and stayed at the track. So, definitely something to look into tomorrow, depending on the weather. All right, next game we got is Miami, New York Mets, Zach Thompson versus Carlos Carrasco. No line here again, but I expect the Mets to be a heavy favorite again, and I want no part of the Mets as a heavy favorite. Carrasco has not been good this year. This has got to be like his maybe 6th start. Thus far. This will be a 7th start thus far. Obviously, his last start was the best one this year. 7 innings, 2 earned runs versus the Giants at home. Again, this game is another game at home in the friendly confines of Citi Field. Definitely a pitcher-friendly park. And his strikeouts have slowly gone up his last couple starts. So he's probably working in more of a mojo. He should have some success versus this Miami team, but I expect this line to be like the Mets minus 175, and I want no part of it. I really don't. The Mets, I get it. The Mets beat this team 2 or 3 games. What they won, this is like they haven't won really past these last 2 or 3. They were really struggling with the bats, really struggling to win. So I'm not really afraid of the Mets, and that's really where I'm at with that. I don't want. I can't at this time in the MLB season. I can't be laying a price with heavy favorites, and this is a heavy favorite that I really have no interest in. Zach, so now let's see if we can make a case for the other side. That's what I always look at. If I want no part of the favorite, let's see if we can make a case for the other side. Maybe even look at under because Carrasco's. I do expect Carrasco to pitch good, as I mentioned. And this Miami team definitely struggled with the bat. Obviously, they play in Citi Field is an upgrade from Marlins Park, but still. Nothing special, and this Miami team has had time struggling, especially in this series still. Trevor Williams shut him down, and that guy is not very good. So Zach Thompson has pitched pretty decent as of late. He's going 5, 4, 6 innings his last 5, 6 starts. He definitely gives up runs, and is susceptible to the home run ball. Not really a high strikeout guy either. So maybe slight lean towards the under, but I'm not really confident in it. And the Mets haven't seen it. Well, I'm not sure. Have the Mets seen him? Let me see. They're not. This site's saying that he's not the official name starter. Yeah, the Mets have a couple of bats versus him, but no stats to jump off the plate at me. So I'm capping this based on Zach Thompson. I'm seeing 2 of my sites have Zach Thompson. The other site does not. So that's where I'm at there. Nothing official on that game. Jason Cornell says, smash the likes, you filthy animals. Jefferson Braves tied up. Gregory Russo in the house. Looking fresh, brother. Appreciate that. Hi, Joey, AJ, appreciate that. Chris, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you all for hanging out. I always appreciate the followers and all you for commenting. Thank you very much. If you guys want to sign up, runpurebets.com. It is bets 25 off to get 25% off your first month. And you have all the track plays from everybody on the team. Not many other websites track their plays. Every single play we put on the spreadsheet is fully tracked. And, you know, you can follow these Twitter cappers that put out 10-unit plays and don't track anything, delete your posts when they lose, or you can follow, proven winners that have a fully tracked spreadsheet. And win or loss, it's on the spreadsheet, That's just the way it is. And everything's 1 unit. We're not playing, hey, we lost 5 in a row. Let's go a 5-unit play. No, it doesn't work like that because I know slow and steady wins the race. And I'm up about 18 units in MLB this year. So I'm just going to keep going. We lose one game. It's no big deal. On to tomorrow, on to the next game, and that's what we're doing. So next game, Boston Red Sox, Tampa Bay Rays. Eduardo Rodriguez versus Shane McClanahan. Lefty on lefty crime here again. And if you know me, how many times have I told you guys the Tampa Bay Rays suck versus lefties? How many times? Not enough. They get Eduardo Rodriguez, who personally does not scare me. Eye test does not scare me. This year he's got hit hard. His advanced numbers are not very good this year. XFIP and FIP in the high 4s. And his ERA is in the 5s this year. So I know he pitched good his last time out in Cleveland, but still gave up 2 homers in that affair. And versus Texas, he gave up 5 earned run versus Texas. Did pitch good against Baltimore and Detroit. Then got rocked against Toronto. This guy has been all over the place. Strikeout numbers are somewhat down. Excuse me. But he doesn't really walk anybody, and this is a good matchup. As I mentioned, BVP, the team's seen him 116 times. They're striking out over 30% of the time versus Eduardo Rodriguez, batting 273 weighted on base percentage, 252 batting average. So nothing special. And then Shane McClanahan, on the other hand, I actually really like what I've seen from him. He is a lefty. Boston is pretty good versus lefties, but their lineup is somewhat hurting. They're missing. Who are they missing? Who went on the not Devers, but Xander Bogaerts is now on the COVID list. So their lineup was not very impressive today. Jack Lopez started today. The bottom of the lineup was not very impressive. I'm pretty sure they had like Schwarber, Renfroe up top, JD Martinez, Devers, Verdugo, Christian Vasquez, and then it was, Dalbec's still good, but then it was somewhat scary, and I expect the same tomorrow. And McClanahan, this is Tampa Bay Rays, Tropicana Field. Definitely, it's a dome, so it's a pitcher-friendly park. McClanahan, Boston hasn't really seen much of him, but he has pitched really good as of late. And from the eye test, I like what I've seen. I've watched a decent amount of his starts because he also is on my yearly fantasy team. I added him from waivers, and I've had him on my lineup every single start, and he's done pretty damn good getting me. It's a points league, so he's getting me plus points. So when he's normally starting, I normally do watch the game. And his last 10 starts, 12 starts, even going back, so he hasn't allowed more than 3 runs since June 2nd in Yankee Stadium. When he pitches, he has a really good home, and he pitches really good in Tropicana Field. I get it. 3 of his last 4 starts were against Baltimore. Baltimore, obviously, a team struggling to score, not the best. But he pitched against Boston August 1st, 6 innings, 1 earned run, only a solo shot, 7 strikeouts. That was his only start versus Boston this year. I do expect him to have, a positive start here. I really do. With that said, I definitely trust him more than I trust Eduardo Rodriguez. The way these two teams are playing, the Rays are definitely hotter than the Boston Red Sox. And even with these COVID injuries for Boston, they got not including the offensive end, a couple guys in the bullpen. I'm pretty sure Matt Barnes, a couple guys in the bullpen are still on that COVID list or just got added to the COVID list. So this is a tough one for me. With Tampa Bay, I'm not. Do we got a line here? Tampa Bay minus 165. I think that honestly is justified. Will not lay that number. If you're interested, a lean would be Tampa Bay first 5, lay the half run, or you just take Tampa Bay. You take the under first 5. You could probably get that out at about 4.5. So I'm somewhat interested in that because I do think Eduardo Rodriguez has, a decent start because Tampa Bay's not great against lefties. We've seen multiple guys shut them down that are as good as Eduardo Rodriguez, if not worse. So that would be the lean. Nothing official, but definitely hard lean towards Tampa. But I'm definitely not, and I'm not interested in laying a run and a half either with the team at home. Boston 259 versus left-handies, Tampa 233. Thank you, Jefferson. Yeah, it's not just really batting average, too. You got to look at runs scored because Tampa has scored some runs versus them, but on base percentage, batting average is not as important as on base percentage, runs scored, but thank you, Justin Cornell, Jason Cornell, trust Joey. Appreciate it. All right, next game. Pittsburgh, Chicago, Mitch Keller, Keegan Thompson. Mitch Keller, man, this is a guy, smoke and mirrors, has really great stuff. He just can't put it all together, He has good starts at times, others times quite the opposite, He is getting Pittsburgh head off today, traveling to Chicago. Chicago, I want to say played in Tampa. I'm pretty sure they played in Minnesota today. I'm almost 1,000. I'm like 99% positive they played in Minnesota today. So they'll be traveling tonight into Chicago. And this team is already having trouble scoring. I think they only scored 3 runs today, and it was off a homer. The day before they scored maybe 2 runs, 3 runs. And I'm thinking it was off a homer as well. Obviously, weather is always a question mark in this field, so that should definitely be into your cap here. But with that said, Mitch Keller probably has a decent start. I really do. If he limits the walks, I think he has a decent start. I know versus St. Louis, his last start out, he got hit hard, but this was he pitched against St. Louis back-to-back starts. So the first start, 5 innings, 6 hits, 0 earned runs. He comes back 6 days later, pitches against the same team at home this time instead, 5 innings, 7 earned runs. So, I think I'll take that a little bit into consideration that he just pitched versus the same team in 6 days. They're a little confident. I know he hasn't been great as of late, even giving up 4 runs, 4 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs. So he is very susceptible. His ERA is showing that. His advanced stuff is showing that. But in baseball, you have to find the spots that, on paper don't look good. And sometimes you have to find those spots. With that said, I probably expect this to be either a pick'em or the Cubs to be favored here. So with that said, I am somewhat interested in the Pirates, Keegan Thompson, I mean, their bats are rested. They've probably already in Colorado rested. And Keegan Thompson's nothing to write home about. He pitched against the White Sox, Kansas City last 2 starts. He pitched 6 innings. He's given up 6 total runs. That was in both those starts. And before that, he was in the minors. So since getting pulled into this starter role because he was out of the bullpen, they set him down to try to boost up, his workload. And in the minors, he didn't allow any runs during that July. His 4 starts from July 31st to August 15th, he didn't allow any earned runs. He only allowed 5 hits in 14 and 2/3 innings. Now he comes up to the majors and gets shelled his 2 starts. So I think he does have a little success here versus the Pirates. But I think the Pirates probably get to him. The Pirates are probably, in my opinion, the better lineup of the 2 teams here. Both these teams, bottom of the barrel teams. So this is not the best of games. So I'm not against if you just want to pass on this one, but slightly lean towards the Pirates here, but nothing official. Next game, Cleveland, Kansas City. Cleveland, I want to say, just won this game in extra innings. Today's game in extra innings after they loaded the bases with no outs in the top of, or the bottom. This is the bottom of the 10th, loaded the bases, no outs, and got out of it. They go into the 11th, scored 2 runs, hold Kansas City, and they win the game. Craziness. Now they got Tristan McKenzie, who's been quite hot, going for the Indians tomorrow. Let me just see if I got a line on this game. No, I don't. Then I'm seeing Bubic or I'm seeing Mike Minor, 2 different starters. Who we got on my other site? Bubic or Minor? Yeah, to be announced here. So I don't even know who's starting for Kansas City. But it looks like Tristan McKenzie is starting for the Indians. And McKenzie, another guy. He has really good stuff, throws hard. He was at the early starts of the season. He did have trouble with his location. as of late, he's pitched really good, and he's limited his walks. He's only walked 2 people his last 4 starts. He has allowed 2 earned runs, the most in those starts. He pitched against Oakland, Toronto, the Angels, and Detroit. So some decent teams. His last 2 starts, he has 19 strikeouts in 15 innings with only 3 hits and 1 total earned run. So I do expect him to pitch somewhat good here. His BVP, he's faced this team, I want to say one time this year, back on July 9th. He had one time 7 innings, 1 hit ball, 9 strikeouts, and a walk. I think there's another, or no, he's faced them twice because then he pitched again, or this will be his May 6th. He pitched 5 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. That was at the beginning of the season, as I mentioned, where he was having trouble with his walks, but he's really limited this team. He's really limited this team in the BVP spectrum if you take that into consideration. I think he probably has a solid start here tomorrow as well. Obviously, I don't know who's starting for the Royals, but I'm somewhat dependent on if it's Bubik, even Bubik or Mike Minor. I am somewhat interested in the Cleveland Indians, a team that doesn't. I mean, both these teams don't really strike out much, but McKenzie's strikeout numbers have gone up. He throws the ball very hard and has really good stuff. So I do expect him to strike out some people tomorrow. And either Bubik or Minor, the Indians should get to him, being that they barely strike out. They're somewhat middle of the pack versus lefties too. So hard lean towards the Indians. Obviously, I can't make it official until we have some lines out and we know who is the starter. Steve Ramos in the house. What's up, my guy? Says, want to make a bag? You listen to Joey work. That is right. Lance LaRose, what is up? Hit the like button. Appreciate you. All right, so we got one more game I want to say here. Yes, we do. And it is, Atlanta Braves, Colorado Rockies. The Braves are still playing right now. Someone in the chat said they tied it. I'm guessing it's 2-2 versus the Dodgers. Now, no off day for them. Travel to the friendly confines of Coors Field, Colorado, and get to go against Chichi Gonzalez, it looks like. Yes, that's the truth. Chichi Gonzalez and the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies obviously much better with their offense at home. They also did play today an early game, though, so they traveled back. They traveled back a little earlier. So both teams traveling in here. Touki Toussaint versus Chichi Gonzalez. Touki has been rather impressive this year, but he only pitched 1 inning his last start. They're saying, he didn't. I don't think he started that game. He came out of the bullpen, but the manager is saying that they're going to put him back in the starting rotation here. And he's pitched pretty damn good. He had 1 blow up versus Milwaukee, giving up 7 earned runs. Other than that, he hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in any of his starts this year. And he's pitched about 5 innings, 6 innings every single start. 1 earned, 2 earned runs in every start. His strikeouts about 5-6 people per game. Obviously, there's another guy somewhat has trouble with the walks, but I think he should have some success here. Obviously, Colorado, not really, the atmosphere for a good, start. And then Chichi, if this Atlanta, obviously, I think Albies is out of the lineup. He's probably out of the lineup for this whole series versus Colorado. So that definitely takes a hit. And Chichi pitched, decent this year, but nothing really to write home about. His ERA is not very good. His advanced numbers show it's a little better than ERA. That's why I said it's pitched decent. And he barely walks anybody. He doesn't really strike out many people either. This Atlanta Braves team hasn't really seen much of him. But what they've seen of him, they've hit him pretty damn hard. Obviously, Coors Field not very friendly to Chichi either. His numbers in Coors Field not very good. This year, let's read off his last couple starts in Coors Field. 3 innings, 3 earned, 4 innings, 7 earned, 7 innings, 2 earned, 5 innings, 6 earned, 6 innings, 4 earned, 4 innings, 3 earned. So that's like his last couple starts in Coors Field. Not very good. So I definitely expect Atlanta to score. Colorado will probably put up some runs as well. I expect this total to be high, as most of them are in Colorado. With that said, slightly towards Atlanta. I expect them to be the favorite, though, so you'll probably be playing a juice, depending on where the line is at, will be if I pull the trigger or not. But slightly towards Atlanta and slightly towards the over. Maybe Atlanta team total over, dependent. But, again, they are flying in late night, so that kind of scares me off a little bit, but slightly towards Atlanta. So, I mean, I didn't make any official plays on this video because there's only three games with lines as of right now. But you know what? Oakland first 5 will be a play of mine. Oakland first 5, lay the half run will be a play of mine. The line's still not out, so that'll be my one official play on here. Play that up to -125. That's the max. If it's over that, I don't expect it to be over that because I'm seeing their money line at -160. So you could probably get that at -120, and I'm very happy with that. So that'll be my only best bet on this thing because there's not very many lines out, and it's 12:30 almost Eastern time. So can't really wait any much longer. But I appreciate you guys all hanging out. I'll be back Sunday with JJ and Holden, giving out winners on the Sunday show. I will be bowling JJ Saturday for $500. If you're interested in getting some money down on either of us, a little side bets, hit me in the Twitter DMs. I'm giving him 60 pins. These are the rules. I'm giving him 60 pins, head to head. May the best man win, best of 3 games. Good luck to JJ. He needs it. I'm coming for the bag. But that's all I got for you. If you want to sign up, get all my official plays so you know all my official plays that I give out, because I'll definitely give out a couple more official plays tomorrow. RunPureBets.com. Promo code BETS 25 off to get 25% off your first month. Otherwise, that's all I got for you. Joey works out. I'll see you guys later in the week. Peace.